Holy fuck. Well, we got an absolute truckload of trailers and announcements from every corner of Disney World. A huge Phase 5 sneak peek hosted by Kevin Feige, a massive Star Wars breakdown on future projects, and Pixar's new releases coming soon to us. There is shit everywhere, and it's all pretty daunting trying to figure out what was exactly announced yesterday and what information we were given. So I've taken it upon myself to try and go through everything that came out yesterday as quickly as possible for you guys, so we can just digest some of these presents we were given as an early Christmas gift. Shit, the Game Awards is also on today as well. Bloody hell, talk about everything being released at once. Okay, off the bat, let's start off with bloody Star Wars then, I guess. So, kicking things off, we were given an announcement for Rangers of the New Republic, a new TV show coming to Disney Plus, which all we know is that it's set during the same time as The Mandalorian. We don't know who's starring in it, what it's about, or what the show's even focusing on. But I'm really enjoying this new timeline that Mandalorian's focusing on at the moment. Currently in this new Disney Star Wars era, the TV shows are doing much better in my eyes than the movies are. So I'm definitely not going to complain about seeing more TV shows within the Star Wars franchise. Following that was the announcement of Ahsoka, the TV series coming to Disney Plus. Now, I don't know who's been watching The Mandalorian, but Ahsoka recently just premiered on that. She starred prominently within the Clone Wars animation series, and this was the first time we got to see her performed by a live actor. And I think she was absolutely fantastic to watch. She's one of the more interesting characters in the Star Wars universe to me, and I'm more than happy to see a TV show focused on her. If you're really wanting to learn more about Ahsoka, I cannot recommend enough watching the Clone Wars TV show, especially the last season that was released on Disney Plus this year. Following that, we got this sneak peek look at Star Wars Andor, and where I've already stated that I'm loving the TV shows coming from Star Wars, out of the movies, I'd probably say Rogue One was my favourite, so I'm more than happy to see a combination of the two. Looks like they're using practical effects over CG, which is great to see, and I'm definitely curious to see what goes on during this. They announced that this isn't coming to Disney Plus until 2022 though, so we've still got a wait to go. Next up, we got this fancy little title card for the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, starting filming in March next year. And we also got the announcement that Hayden Christensen is returning as Darth Vader, making it this 10-year reunion when we last saw them in Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. I am so excited to see this one. Obi-Wan Kenobi is probably my favourite thing to come out of the prequels, and I've been so excited to see Ewan McGregor reprise this role ever since this was announced, must have been a couple of years ago. Anyway, for me, this is one of the more exciting things I'm looking forward to, and it just cannot come soon enough. Following that, we had a trailer for Star Wars The Bad Batch, which is an animated series acting as the spiritual successor to the Clone Wars. Clone Wars was one of those shows that got better the more you watched it. It started off with some really weak animation and story. However, the ending of this show that was recently released on Disney Plus earlier this year was probably one of my favourite moments in Star Wars history. But yeah, this seems to be the successor to Clone Wars, and it seems to be diving more into what happened during Order 66 and the moments following the fall of the Jedi and how the Empire was formed. The trailer showed us a lot, but also not that much. I'll be interested to see what characters make a cameo appearance in this show. We did get a little sneak peek at Grand Moff Tarkin though, which was pretty cool, and I can't wait to see what else this show brings for us. Following that, we got the announcement of Star Wars Visions, an original series of animated short films that are being created by some of the world's best Japanese anime creators. Now, Star Wars and anime was not two things I ever thought I'd put together, but hearing this news makes me really excited to see what sort of things they're going to create. I can't even imagine what this is going to look like. They announced that it's going to release next year, so it's not going to be too long a wait either. Following that, we got a Lando Calrissian spin-off TV show, which I did not see coming. They gave almost no information at all apart from this fancy title card, and there was no mention of Donald Glover or Billy D. Williams featuring in it either, so we're just going to have to hold tight for more information from that one. Following that was the announcement of Star Wars The AAAAAAA TV series, which will be following the timeline of the High Republic era, which sets place about 200 years before the Skywalker saga that we've been following through episodes 1 to 9. Now this is really great news for me as well, because I didn't think we'd ever see anything from the old days of Star Wars. If you've ever played the Knights of the Old Republic game, you know how much of a thriving area it was for Jedi back in the day. And I feel like we don't really get much about Jedis in Star Wars stories anymore. Apart from in the prequel movies, you only ever get one or two in the film or TV show, so I'm really excited to see a world where Jedi and Sith are booming everywhere, and hopefully some really exciting action and Jedi fights. And finally we had this little trailer for Patty Jenkins, who is the director of Wonder Woman, announcing that she's going to be taking the directorial role for the new Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie, set to release in December 2023. focusing on a slightly different area of Star Wars that we've not seen in film yet, where it's all about the X-Wing pilots and their battles in space. Unfortunately, not much other information was given other than that. And that was it from the Star Wars side of things, but Lucasfilm did announce that pre-production was beginning for the next Indiana Jones film, which somehow has the return of Harrison Ford. He must be what, like 95 now? I don't even know how he's doing stuff like this still. But that's set to release in July 2022, so we've still got a bit of a wait for that one as well. Following that, we were given an announcement for Hocus Pocus 2 sequel, a remake for Cheaper by the Dozen, which was originally done by Steve Martin, and I absolutely loved that movie, and an animated version of Night in the Museum coming in 2021. They also spoke a little bit more about the live-action prequel to The Lion King, which I mentioned on my Instagram earlier last month, but they also talked about the cast that was going to be behind the Little Mermaid remake, including Awkwafina, Melissa McCarthy, and Halle Bailey. The Disney remakes have been up and down for me. I love The Lion King, The Jungle Book, wasn't a fan of Beauty and the Beast, and Mulan was an absolute travesty. So, fingers crossed this one's okay. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to hold my breath too much for this though. We also got some fancy title cards to go along with the announcements for a Pinocchio live action remake, as well as a Peter Pan live action remake as well, or in this case called Peter Pan and Wendy, which I'm curious as to why they changed the name of it. I'm guessing it's probably because we've had quite a lot of Peter Pan movies already. I think we've had Peter Pan, Pan, Hook, so I guess this was just next on the list of things they could call it. Anyway, you got Tom Hanks starring as Geppetto in Pinocchio, and Jude Law starring as Captain Hook in Peter Pan. Both actors I really love seeing on the big screen, and probably be enough to convince me to watch these movies. Following that was announcements made by Disney Animation, where coming to Disney Plus in 2022 is Baymax, Zootopia Plus, and Tiana, followed by a Moana TV show coming in 2023. We then got an announcement for a new Walt Disney Animation Studios film called Encanto, or Enchanto. I'm not actually too sure how to pronounce it, to be honest, but it was a brief 10-minute snippet, accompanied with some really good music. If it's a similar sort of vibes to Coco, I'm going to be all down for that. The music in Coco was great. Disney also announced that Raya and the Last Dragon will be announced in theatres and Disney Plus Premier Access on March the 5th, 2021. A strategy similar to what we've seen with Mulan earlier this year, which I just am not happy with. I don't know how they haven't learnt their lesson from the poor numbers sold for the Premier Access for Mulan. We've got Star Wars out the way, we've got all the Disney announcements out the way, and now we're going to move on to Pixar. Now the first one that was announced for me was really interesting, and that was the Buzz Lightyear solo movie. Coming to theatres in June 17, 2022, starring Chris Evans as the voice. It's supposedly the definitive story of the original Buzz Lightyear. Now I have no idea what that means, and all they gave us was a title card and this one image, but yeah, sure, let's go for it, yeah, see what it brings. And then there was a Cars TV show announced, but we can just skip past that. We then had Kevin Feige produce a 30-minute Phase 5 breakdown of what we could expect down the line. At first, he gave us a trailer for WandaVision, which is probably one of the things I'm looking forward to the most at the moment. It's coming to Disney Plus in January next year, and I think it's just so weird and creepy, and it does this weird, interesting mix of old school television storytelling with this unique twist of this multiverse of madness and superheroes. I think it's going to be so different to what we've seen in the superhero genre yet. As always, the trailers gave us nothing new on information, and it was just as confusing as the first trailer I saw. So we're going to go into this TV show being completely blind as to what to expect, which always makes things way more exciting. Following that was our first trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, coming to Disney Plus in March 2021. This was a little bit of a bland trailer for me. It didn't really show us much or what we could expect or any of the villains. It looks like there's some great chemistry between the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but apart from that, I didn't see much else interesting happen in this bit. It wasn't really an eventful trailer, but it looks like there's going to be some sort of fake Captain America that the government's chosen, not one that's going to be the Falcon. And I'm quite interested to see where they take that story, and if he's going to be the main villain in the show or not. But as always, not much information was given apart from that, and we'll just have to wait for a few more months. Following that was, God, I don't even know what I just watched. Loki TV series, but I can't even tell you what this is about. I have absolutely, holy shit, is that Black Widow? You know what, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what this is about, and we're going to have to wait to find out more. Then we got a short trailer for What If, an animated TV show from Marvel Studios, which is going to go through short stories from different comics, turning the Marvel Cinematic Universe on its head. Like, for example, what happens if Penny took the serum instead of Steve Rogers? It looks like we're seeing a lot of the cast return as voice actors for this, which will be a really nice touch to it, I think. The animation looks pretty solid as well. Following that was this sizzle reel for Ms. Marvel. I haven't really seen much about this new superhero, only that she was recently in the Avengers PS4 game. I haven't really played that game as I've heard it's not so great, but I'm definitely up for seeing what she can do in cinematic universe. They only really announced who's playing her and the directors. They didn't really tell us much about what the TV show was going to be about, but it's coming late 2021, so we're not going to have to wait too long to find out. We then got new announcements and title cards and release dates for a lot of things, so I'm just going to blitz through them now. We got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings coming to theatres July the 9th, 2021. Captain Marvel 2 coming to theatres November the 11th, 2022. Jeremy Renner returning to star as Hawkeye in the TV show Hawkeye coming to Disney+, although no release date given yet. The announcement of a She-Hulk movie coming to Disney+, with Mark Ruffalo returning as Hulk as well. A new TV series about the vigilante Moonlight coming to Disney+ as well. With the return of Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury in a new original Disney Plus TV show called The Secret Invasion, followed by an announcement of another TV show called Ironheart, following the creator of the most advanced suit of armour since the Iron Man suit. Don Cheadle as James Rhodes, aka War Machine, is also getting his own TV show called Armor Wars. James Gunn writing a holiday special for Guardians of the Galaxy coming on Disney Plus 2022. An I Am Groot TV show as well. And an announcement that Christian Bale is going to be joining the cast for the fourth Thor movie, Thor Love and Thunder, which has also been announced to come to theatres May the 6th, 2022. And we got a third Ant-Man and Wasp movie announced called Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. And then we got an announcement for a Fantastic Four movie, directed by John Watts, who did Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home. There was so much dropped in here, there's so much to take. A lot of it is still quite far down the line, I know, but it's just so exciting to get all these announcements for movies that we know we can look forward to in the future. It's nice that after this year hiatus we've had because of COVID, that Marvel's just come banging through the doors with all these announcements. Oh yeah, we've got an Alien TV show too. But let me know what you're most excited for that was announced here today. I haven't even begun thinking about the Games Awards. You probably want to have a look at that as well. There's just so much stuff that was announced today. It's crazy. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews on movies, anime, and video games. Take care. Bye bye.